Many homeowners view painting the outside of their house as an aesthetic chore, as simple as coloring a wall and waiting for it to dry. In reality, exterior paint must undergo an active chemical curing process to structurally bond with your siding. When you skip or disrupt this chemical step, the paint fails. You end up with uneven fading, peeling edges, and the premature loss of an investment that likely cost you thousands of dollars. A successful exterior paint job is ultimately dictated by atmospheric chemistry and strict timing, rather than the brand or price of the paint you pull off the shelf. Modern acrylic latex paints are heavily engineered products, and they are designed to harden strictly within a highly specific, narrow environmental window. Look at the temperature dial. For optimal bonding, ambient air temperatures must stay between 50 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. For our secondary constraint, the hygrometer shows relative humidity must remain below 85% during the curing process. Push past that humidity threshold, and the paint film's moisture release mechanism breaks down. The moisture gets trapped, virtually guaranteeing that the paint will crack and blister down the road. This creates a rigid dilemma. You have to constantly weigh the desire for predictable, dry weather against the uncompromising reality of these chemical constraints. This four-quadrant matrix allows us to evaluate the seasons through a strict framework of input effort versus chemical outcome. We are judging each season on weather predictability, the curing environment, and the available working window. Most assume the hot, consistent dry spells of summer make it the perfect time to schedule a project. But while summer scores highly for scheduling predictability, that intense heat triggers a severe warning for the curing environment. This data overlay shows exactly why. When ambient air temperatures sit over 90 degrees, the surface temperature of dark wood or vinyl siding can exponentially spike to a destructive 120 degrees. At those extremes, the paint flash dries. It evaporates so quickly that the molecules literally do not have time to bond together, severely shortening the lifespan of the finish. Spring presents the exact opposite problem. It hits the right air temperatures for an ideal cure, but its highly volatile weather patterns make it incredibly difficult to secure a reliable working window. The specific hidden threat here is morning dew. If you paint before the walls fully dry out from the cool nights, you trap that morning moisture right under the new paint layers, causing immediate and widespread adhesion issues. Spring trades schedule consistency for ideal temperatures, while summer trades proper chemical bonding for a guaranteed dry schedule. Looking back at our matrix, fall emerges as the most chemically stable environment available. You have beautifully balanced humidity and infrequent rainfall, checking both boxes for predictability and curing. The overlay shows perfectly flat, stable overnight temperatures in September and October. Because they sit safely inside that golden zone, you guarantee a flawless chemical cure and maximize the total lifespan of the paint. The primary constraint of fall is daylight. A rapidly shrinking sun cycle means you have a much tighter working window, requiring strict schedule management by you or your contractor. All application work must completely stop before evening temperatures fall below 45 degrees, or you risk stopping the curing process dead in its tracks. Finally, winter. Winter is strictly a non-standard painting environment, defined entirely by extreme chemical compromises. Specialized cold weather paints do exist, allowing application down to 35 degrees. However, these are strictly emergency bandages, not standard exterior solutions. Low sun angles, frost, and near-constant condensation guarantee massive adhesion failure. If you paint in the winter, you should expect that paint to fail within the first 2 years. Fall provides the only mathematically optimal intersection of weather and chemistry. Winter must be reserved exclusively for time-sensitive triage. Using our flowchart, can you wait 3 months? If yes, you're an optimizer. Target September or October for stable temperatures, ideal curing, and maximum lifespan. If forced into summer timelines, you're an expedient homeowner. Restrict labor to early mornings before peak heat destroys the bond. And if you suffer structural damage that must be patched immediately during a winter freeze, you are the emergency repairer. Apply cold weather paint to seal the damage, but accept it's temporary. You must plan and budget for a full recoat once the weather improves. Aligning your project timeline with the actual chemical needs of the paint is the ultimate strategy for protecting the structural and economic value of your home.